What's up there, Black family? This is Kevin Wharton Price. I am here with,
Katlego, Masego after them coalition.
and we're just here to talk about a very interesting topic that has been sweeping the social media, and that is the American descendant of slavery conversation. Okay, but before we get off into that, I want to give what's her name, Yvette Carnell. I want to give her a shout out. Okay, because her and Antonio Webb. Matter of fact, yeah, Yvette Cornell and Antonio Webb. I want to give y'all young people a shout out simply because you have set the stage for young people. Okay, you've set the stage for young people to have an opportunity to discuss a very, very, very important topic, a topic that is very important to this Black community here in America. So, with no further ado, what I want to do is the things that we have in the back. What are you doing? The things that we have in the back here, I just want to have a couple of things up because the brother here, what's his name? What's that brother's name on the right?
Marwin's Mind Over Matter TV.
Okay, Marvin's Mind Over Matter TV, right? The brother, really spit some really good stuff, right? Because there are a lot of people right now that are showing their hate towards, people who are American descendants of slavery. What do you think about that?
Well, American Descendants of Slavery was started by once again by Yvette Carnell, Tone Talks, Antonio. Well, well, once again, Yvette Carnell, Tone Talks started ADOS, which is American Descendants of Slavery. I support the American Descendants of Slavery too because we've been undermined by the Democrat Party for going over 50 some years. And since the 65, since the civil rights era, all these other immigrants and other so-called minorities, we've been fought back by our ancestors, and we've been getting our free votes
Okay.
to black
Well,
people.
okay, but the thing that we want to we're gonna get to that, but I just want to first deal with that beginning part because I want people to understand that one, uh, you have what's called the descendants of American slavery.
Yes.
Okay, so this brother, I think his name is Sutton. Um, I'm I'll look it up. We got to look it up. But this brother has Doc Smith. Black Power there, brother.
Black Power.
All
Black
right. Oh, wait a
Power.
minute. I guess I can type that, huh? Okay, no, I'm over type. He heard it. So, this brother is the one who basically started. He has the flag, and can you type in, create a new screen? Like go to new tab, right there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just go to new tab, and type in right there. No, the search bar, brother.
All right, got it.
Type in creator of the ADOS flag. You see, because a lot of the things that people be saying, that, oh, they didn't create their own flag and so forth, and the flag was created by somebody else. I was looking at one of the videos, and they were saying
Yes,
how the
here's
flag
his
was
name right
created by
here.
somebody else.
North is Shelton.
Right.
This one right here.
Click that. Click that. See what we got there. Okay. Just freeze it. Just freeze it. So this is a brother right here, is the creator. You know what I'm saying? He created the flag, and matter of fact, he has a very interesting video. Okay, a very interesting video. So we're not going to go back to John Henry Clark, John Henry Clark, but I just wanted you to see side by side with this concept that we are beginning to see who our real friends are. Okay, we're beginning to see who our real friends are. People talk about how Pan Africanism, okay, how Pan Africanism, that the ADOS movement is interfering with the Pan Africanist movement. So my question is, how can the ADOS movement be interfering with the Pan African movement when the Pan African movement began primarily here in America, as we know it today, and has, we built on that to where we are right now. So when we talk about Pan Africanism, we're talking about American DOS. That's what we're talking about because we are the ones that helped put this solidly on the map. Now, Marcus Garvey, which what we were talking about earlier, Marcus Garvey, he was an immigrant. He came to America. and he brought the red, black, and green with him. Okay. Now, why wasn't he able to establish that in Jamaica? We don't know. What were your thoughts on
Well,
that?
the reason why that I would say that Marcus Garvey, and this is fact, the reason why that Marcus Garvey could establish himself in Jamaica because his own people they don't want Pan Africanism. So he brought Pan African here in America. We accepted Marcus Garvey like we always do the immigrants. So we accepted them, welcome with open arms, Marcus
Right.
Garvey, and then he taught us ways Pan Africanism to this day.
Right. Now let's look at a comment here. We got Doc Smith up here on our YouTube channel. And if you are looking, you're here live on Facebook right now. We can't really see, the comments right there, but I have, we're live here on Facebook on my channel right here. But we have Doc Smith here. He says the founder, T. Carnell, said Pan-Africanism is outdated. Okay. And I think that the concept of those early beginnings, yeah, it is outdated. And we need to build upon that. We need a new building blocks. And one of the building blocks, one of the major building blocks right now is reparations. Okay. Because one of the things that I like about what this brother says on, what's that channel?
Well, his channel is
Over here.
Marvin's Mind Over Matter TV.
Right. So Mar what?
Marvin's.
Is that Marvin?
Marvin's Mind Over Matter TV.
Marwin.
Yeah.
Marwin. Okay, so Brother Marwin made some comments about Pan-Africanism. And here's my take on the matter. And I want to get your thoughts as well on this particular thing right here. And that is, we can easily solve the issue of the social, economic, and cultural aspect of Pan-Africanism and, redefine it all once we get these reparations. You see, think about it. Black Americans right now, and I'm just using that term, or American DOS right now, we control how many trillion?
1.7 trillion.
Let's say 1.7 trillion. Okay, so we control 1.7 trillion. After reparations, we figure that right there will easily triple or even become, I don't know, maybe 6-7 trillion. So that means that we'll have the power of maybe 6, 7, maybe $10 trillion to utilize for Pan-African ventures as well as developing the economics of the Black family. Well, one of the things, okay, so Doc Smith says that we don't do anything with the money we have. Now, an interesting study was shown. I forget the individual that put it up there, but it might have been Carnell, Yvette Carnell. But they showed in Florida where the pocket amount of money, legal pocket amount of money that is, because everybody's out here hustling and doing side hustles and all kind of stuff. And I ain't gonna get into that. But you have all these hustles going out there, and you have people who are walking around with less than $20 in their pocket. Actually, the statistics said 11, but I kind of like 20 a little bit better. But if we even just stuck with the statistic, it said $11 for American DOS in Florida. Okay, and they showed the whole list of things, and they showed, whites, and they showed the immigrant population, the Caribbeans, and they showed the Jamaicans, and they showed the Hispanics and so forth, and of course, Black folks on the bottom. Oh, actually, Native Americans on the bottom as well. So a lot of us really don't have a lot of money. Now, we do have a rich Black class. Matter of fact, we got Black Beverly Hills. We're kind of like up in Black Beverly Hills right now. Okay, so anybody who would say that Black people didn't have billions of dollars collectively to, living in close proximity to each other, I think Black Beverly Hills probably got billions of dollars up in here, So we understand that part. But the whole thing is that we're looking at a broader thing. Okay, the thing is that Nigerians, I saw a lot of posts by Nigerians, and Nigerians, not all Nigerians now, but we can trace slave owners and slave traders, or shall I say slave traders, on the continent in Nigeria who sent us over here. Now, they're criticizing us for this movement right here. I'm gonna get with you 1 second there, brother. They're criticizing us for this movement right here. But the Sultan of Sokoto, the Sokoto region, they are slave traders from old. And the Secretary of State, the United States Secretary of State, has spent a lot of time lobbying and communicating with these people. You see what I'm saying? So some people don't have the right to criticize. Some people don't have the right to criticize the ADOS movement because, one, they can trace their ancestry to the slave trade on the continent. And two, like Barack Obama and like, what's the woman name?
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris,
Yeah.
they are not ADOS.
Nope.
Okay? Neither one of them. So what, if people really think about it for a minute, no part of Obama's experience goes back to us picking cotton in this country, our ancestors picking cotton in this country. Or actually it does on the white woman's side. That's a slave master right there. So yeah, he had the slave master side, then he had the African side, which is over in Kenya. And people were saying they dispute that, but I'm not tripping on that. The bottom line is he was not American DOS. Kamala Harris is not American DOS. So how can they make a decision so intimate about the black family here, whose ancestry went through slavery, whose ancestry went through Jim Crow and lynching and all of that, Medgar Evers and all of that, you know what I'm saying, whose ancestors, you know what I'm saying, built this country, okay? We built this country. We built this country. White people managed the building of this country, but we got in the physical part of it and the mental part of it, and we built this country. We brought our science, well, we didn't bring our science was brought with us because we were hijacked. You see what I'm saying? So let me see this comment right here. But we made them rich and are still making them rich till this day. Is our lack of money really the issue? Well, no, the lack of money is not so much the issue. The lack of money at this level, let me just say this, at a certain level, yes, the lack of money is an issue because there's not enough people like you and I and the brothers in this room and others in these other organizations that we know that's operating on the grassroots. We don't have the type of money that we need to really make a major impact upon this grassroots community. Okay, if we had equal funds, then we could do a whole lot more, and we could have impacted a lot more by now as well. Kevin, there are several American slaves, even white ones, that claim they have slave ancestry through the Irish and such. Is this really all about blacks or another? Okay, so this is all about blacks. Let me just tell you right here. Okay, so we just clear this up. All right, so we have no doubt whatsoever. We are not talking about Native Americans. We are not talking about immigrants that came to this country. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about any other person or group of people, tribe, that was brought to these shores other than American DOS. Okay? We were the ones that picked that goddamn cotton. Okay? I used to have nightmares going through the motherfucking cotton fields. All right? I used to have to be going through cotton fields. I ain't gonna tell you why, but anyway, I was up in some cotton fields. That shit is depressing. Okay? So that shit is in us, you know? Obama don't know nothing about that shit. Okay? Pamela Harris don't know nothing about that shit. Pamela Harris had that Indian, aristocratic, you know what I'm saying? She spit on probably the Dravidians over there, you know? Yeah, we should ask her about that. Yeah, what do you think about the Dravidians of India? You know, since you hold up that, you know, part of who you are. You see what I'm saying? Because that's a different history, but, you know, anyway. So I just wanted to point that out. Yes, this is about black people only. Okay, Native Americans, and I know I haven't given you a chance to get in, but you got to jump in there, brother, at some point.
All right,
anyway, but hold on. So Native Americans. Now, I had to say Native Americans because the Native Americans has made hundreds of billions of dollars since they've had their reservation, especially since that gambling has come into play. And you know, the bottom line is that we haven't got any of that. You know, they haven't reached out to us and said, you know what, black people, we want to just give y'all a helping hand, you know, but that I know of, and I've been around 58 years, but I don't know everything, of course. So, you know, I ain't seen it all, not by a long shot, short shot either. Anyway, so the Native Americans really not done much for us. Matter of fact, I believe it was the Cherokee.
The Seminoles.
No, it wasn't the Seminoles, it was the Cherokee.
The Cherokees.
I think the Cherokee kicked the black Cherokees out.
Yeah, they sure did.
Because the black Seminoles are still there. Remember, they was in African town last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the Cherokees, and they just won the case too. Just the Freedmans, they just won the case that they. What happened was a couple of years ago.
They won the case.
Yeah, they won the case. Yeah, like the Freedmans, the Cherokee Nation kicked. Yeah, the Cherokee Nation kicked the black Freedmans and the black Cherokee Indians out the tribe though, but the Cherokee Nation Supreme Court intervened and saying, no, these are freemen, these are black freemen, black Cherokee Indians, so they won their rights and they still got the tribal benefits to this day. But they were trying to kick them out. But I show you line on allies and friends though.
Okay, and that's a very good point because those brothers and sisters they are the progeny of blacks, ADOS. Well, ADOS,
yep,
who were held in slavery by the Native Americans.
Yep.
Okay. Now there's a guy on here somewhere who says that the ADOS people are in slavery because they came here and they tried to jack the Native people, and so they were put in slavery. So there's some concepts out there that's kind of interesting. But the thing that I want to bring about the Native Americans is the Native Americans has not reached out with their hundreds of billions of dollars to do anything for us. They have reservations, big reservations, and they're doing pretty good in America right now. So no, this is about American DOS, American descendants of slavery. Okay, pretty much that last generation of people who experienced slavery. I think it was like 100 of them. There was a number of them that was still living. I really don't know how many is still living who actually experienced slavery. I think they're probably all gone now. Okay, but their descendants, they're like many of their descendants are still here. You know, so they are very close to the soil and to the experience. You know, and a lot of them did not leave the southern states. You know, they stayed out there and they did their thing. A lot of us, we came here through the migrations. Our families came here through the migrations. You know, our early families, we came here through the migrations. I know mine did anyway. You know, so, and many of ours did.
Yep.
You know, many of ours did. We left the South, they packed us up and they packed up and they came here to the West Coast. Okay, and that's how a lot of us got here. Matter of fact, I think some of the first communities was in Watts. You know, I think Watts was probably one of the, I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, but I think Watts was one of the first black communities on the West Coast when, you know, black folks began migrating here. Either Watts, Compton, because, you know, they brought the country thing. You know what I'm saying? They brought the whole country thing. You know, we was country when we got here, you know, so you look at Compton was country for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what we got here. Will the government include those people by default of the law that time? Will they consider those other races? Well, first off, what we have to understand is the whole argument of reparations did not start with Yvette Carnell and Antonio Webb. Antonio Webb?
Yeah, Antonio Webb, yeah.
Okay, I don't want to disrespect the brother, but I pronounced his name wrong. But so it didn't start with them, okay? On the West Coast, we have the ancestor, Mr. Peoples. He did work for many years, okay, locally and nationally, all right? We have on West Boulevard, we still have one of the offices of Cobra down there, okay? So the West Coast and the movement out here has been conversating on and, you know, within this whole circle of reparations for a long time. I'm 58 years old, and when I was young, reparations was being talked about. You know, I grew up thinking about reparations. So this is not a new phenomenon for black people. It's just that it's something that had been swept under the rug for a long time. And, you know what I'm saying, just like Dr. Claude Anderson says, you know, Dr. Claude Anderson, he was there during many of these transitions in which the forward progress of black people, ADOS, were reduced. And everybody else was added into that, you know, just as a side note. And I have to go there. But just as a side note, we have Smollett, okay? I'm not going to get into the LGBT part of the whole thing. I just want to use this as an example. When Smollett was allegedly attacked, shortly after that, Kamala Harris and Cory Booker.
Yeah, Cory Booker and the whole none of them, Angela Reed and
Yeah.
Faride.
What happened was they pushed forward a bill in Congress to add the LGBT community into the civil rights part of the anti-lynching bill. Okay, now, for those of you who are more legal-minded than I am, maybe you can give us a comment on what that really means. So let me just say that one more time. Because, see, the timing of that is very important. The timing of that is very important. Okay? Smollett allegedly gets assaulted by two white boys who calls him niggers and all that stuff and puts a rope around his neck and all that type of stuff, which now allegedly we find out that it's two brothers who has been on the set of the movie that he used to work on because I understand they fired him or laid him off or something like that.
They fired him from Empire.
Oh,
He
Empire.
only had
Okay.
2 episodes left, and I heard on the news they said they fired him.
Okay. So what happened was simultaneously, what happened was round about that same time, we get Kamala Harris rushes in, Cory Booker and a few others rush in, and then they get this bill passed. So because now they control the House, they control the House now, so they're able to pass bills now. So why isn't HR 54?
HR, I think 1240.
No, it's HR 54, I think.
What is that? The reparations bill?
Right.
I think it's HR 40 something. HR 40.
45?
45, 42.
40.
HR 40.
40? Okay.
HR 40. That's reparations bill. Yeah.
So why don't they pass HR 40? Okay, since they want to pass this anti-lynching, this new addition to the civil rights anti-lynching bill, why don't they pass HR 40? And let's get this on the road. You see what I'm saying? Let's get this on the road because discussion is not going away. The discussion is not going away. And no, it's not just about money. It's about services. It's about rites of passage and movement. You understand what I'm saying? It's about passports where we can go and come as we please and enter any country that we want. This is America. You know what I'm saying? American passport is number one out there. So, I don't know. It may have changed since some time, but I don't know. Well, we want money and justice. I believe in money. See, I believe money is a part of the whole justice argument. You see, money is a part of the whole justice argument. You see, because there's a lot of people that need immediate relief right now.
Oh, yeah.
You see? What do you think about that?
About what? The justice? About money with justice? Yeah, he just really said, like, how many convictions of these criminals are we requiring? See, on the ADOS website, they talk about
How many can?
on the ADOS website, they talk about when just about reducing the prison industrial complex in America. See, for years, like during the war on drugs, during the 80s and 90s, we black people the ones suffered during war on drugs during the 80s and 90s. Now, with the ADOS is popping, they addressing our issues, what our issues mean for ADOS. Now, we got over, Dr. Clint Anderson said that it's over 51, we make over 51% of the prison population in this country. But yeah, we make over 14% of the population in this country. And so FBI statistic websites that white people commit more crimes than black people. The only thing that we commit the most crimes in is like robbery because we don't have no money because all the opportunities been taken away from us through these immigrants that's in the black community. That's another issue that we got to deal with, that we got to address too, is that you got all these parasitic people that's not from our community sucking the wealth and life out of our community and giving them back. So we kind of need to address that issue with the ADOS too.
Okay. Well, okay. Let me see. All right. That's about for there, boy. Let me check. Huh? Which one? Mine? Oh, that's ridiculous. Okay. Go ahead, my brother. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, I'm gonna talk about some of the incidents with the black immigrants making videos online all over social media, all over Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, saying that it's anti-African ADOS. The ADOS movement is not anti-African. For years, for the last 100-something years, we've been trying to reach out to a lot of African immigrants, a lot of Caribbean immigrants, but They like to have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. They like to straddle the fence. They only want to claim they black with some benefit them economically or socially. But once they get all the benefits economically or socially, they want to go back to their own groups. But now we ADOS. No, it's what his brother say is anti-African and anti-black. No, I don't think it's anti-black because the ADOS movement represents our people in America. Say, for example, too, is that we black people in America, we ADOS got focused on our issues here in America. We got too many problems and issues with our people here in America. We have to address the worry about other people's countries and issues. Now, we understand that the Caribbean is descendants of slaves, though, but the Caribbeans they got to do with they reparations with Britain, France, and Spain. Marcus Garvey was formed. Marcus Garvey was from the Caribbean. We already know Marcus Garvey from Caribbean.
We spoke about that. Let me hold on. We spoke about that earlier. We spoke about the fact that Marcus Garvey saw that the American DOS was more ripe. You understand what I'm saying? Was more ripe for this idea of Pan-Africanism. You see, than I guess the people in his own country. You know, because he talked about that in his literature. You know, so he saw that blacks in America, ADOS here in America, we were ready. Okay, and he raised the red, black, and the green. Yes, he raised the red, black, and green, which you see laid out right here. Okay, so go ahead.
Well, he said that when coming at the ADOS was anti-black African. Well, we're not anti-African. These black immigrants and these black immigrants and these black Caribbeans anti-ADOS.
Okay, now I didn't see that right there. So it says, is it anti-African and anti-black? Are you asking is reparations anti-African and anti-black, or are you asking is this ADOS concept as a way of defining, the descendants of slavery here in America, and that is anti-African or anti-black? I would still say no. You see, I would still say no, because ADOS community in this country has never been really as a whole anti-African. You know, apartheid. Who led that fight in South Africa from America? Okay. It was a lot of us here in this country that led that fight. We walked every single day. We tuned in every single day. We did a lot over on our side every single day during apartheid. You know what I'm saying? All over this country, all over this world, we have black people in Congress and all these other bodies, and we have people in the military who have aided Africa. Yeah, some of them are working on behalf of white supremacy, and they do the job of white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? But within, sometimes within the context of what they do, they're able to, help out. But what I'm really saying is ADOS is not about the black race as a whole. ADOS, well, the black race as a whole was not enslaved here in America.
No, they wasn't.
It was only a portion of the black race. Mm-hmm. All right. Now we have Nigeria, Ghana, Tanzania. Everybody had a country. Everybody had a country. Okay. Black people ain't got no country. We ain't got no country, but right here where we at. Excuse me just 1 second, folks.
Yeah, and also too, I'm gonna add on to that. Is that did not practice. No, Africa has not opened their doors to black people in America. I haven't seen that. We the ones that been opening the door for the Africans and the Caribbeans for over 100-some years. We the ones that foundations of Pan-Africanism. We put a lot of work in, like Ethiopia, where Ethiopia was getting invaded by the Italians, I believe in the early 1920s. We were the first people that signed up and helped Ethiopia get free from try to get invaded from Italians. And Ethiopians turned their back on us. And you look at it right now, the West LA, Fairfax, Little Ethiopia ain't nowhere near the black community. I believe Little Ethiopia is somewhere like the Fairfax, West LA, Beverly Hills area. Now, I would say the reason why that the Africans, Caribbeans are scared now is they know that this ADOS movement, they know we become more politically
Right.
powerful in this country. They know they feel like they're gonna be left out.
Let me address this right quick, because he talked about Patrice Lumumba, okay, and Kwame Nkrumah. Okay, so you have the one person was oh, well, they were both, okay, not fight for blacks in America. Their fight was a part of the Pan African struggle. Yes, has not Africa opened their doors to us in a very limited way in the past? Yes. Now today they're trying to open their doors more. Okay, we have been able to get citizenship. Have we been able to get citizenship with Africa? We have been able to get the right to abode. That's what we have easy access to right now. It is very difficult to get citizenship in Africa. You have to spend some time over there to get citizenship in Africa. I mean, that comes from people who have been there. Okay, I haven't been there yet, but I will be going. But let's look at it like this right here. Defining who we are in relationship to the history of this country is not anti-African. Okay, we are honoring the struggle and the history of our people. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're honoring the struggle and the history of our people by opening up an opportunity for ADOS to get a part of this country that we so dearly deserve.
Yep. And also too, I'm on to that. Yeah, we deserve reparations. Everybody got reparations but us.
So wait, he still wants Doc Smith here. He's still talking about but the point is we're able to get citizenship now in Africa.
It's hard to get.
Okay, hold on a minute, because now he's going to the definition. We're defining ourselves as slaves. Okay, so I don't want to. We can get caught up in words if we want to. We were once Negroes. We went from Negro to black. We went from slave. We went from boy to Negro, nigger, Negro. We went through all this stuff. African American. I think we're kind of Southern right there. A lot of people want to sell in African American, but that's a contested zone as well. So what we're saying is that we're not defining, just saying that we are a slave. The bottom line is that this is a history of this country, and the history of this country is some people would say we're American citizens, point blank. We are American. That's why it has in there, I think, American descendants of slavery. American. They threw in American. We didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But they did throw in American. Okay. Even the other brother right here, what's his name? Norris Shelton.
Yeah.
He threw in the descendants of American slavery. Okay. So that could be argued that we're Americans. And our reason for being here is because these white devils, they hijacked our ancestors, and some of our own people sold us into slavery. And so that's why we're here. But we built this country, and that's what's very important. The inventions that we created, we haven't gotten credit for. That was stolen from us. We were more valuable than a lot of different cargo. The insurance on a black person was just so valuable. You were more valuable than I don't know. I forgot the exact thing. We were more valuable. We were very valuable in the insurance company. Okay, in the insurance industry. Okay, and we're going to continue to let them define us. Black power is self-determination, right? Kuji Shakalia, yes. Kuji Shakalia, all right? So, here's what I want to say to that, brother, is we have to define ourselves. So if I say I'm a ADOS, like Brother Marwin's, I'm an ADOS. I'm an ADOS.
I'm ADOS.
Okay.
Too.
So if I say I'm ADOS, that means that, that's kind of a holding area right now. It's kind of a little area right now, and we're working some stuff out right now. We come to some conclusions a little bit later. We don't want to leave the idea and the platform that we're on saying that we demand reparations. We have reparations coming. This country owes us reparations. We, by virtue of what our experience has been, we should own more of this country than what we have right now. So that's basically can be made an argument. Now, those are my thoughts based upon my years of experience around this whole topic. Okay. Now we have, like I said, the ancestor, Mr. Peoples. He has a platform that he laid out. We got in Cobra. We got the ADOS movement. We have Norris Shelton here with the DOS, the DOS. Um, oh wow, the very closing, huh? So we just wanted to really get out here today and just share just a little bit with the Black family because this is a topic that is going to continue. It's going to continue, y'all. Because if we take ADOS and kind of put it to the side, all we have to do is think about reparations. Reparations has been a conversation in our community and in our families for a long time. Okay, reparations. Everybody got reparations. Chinese got reparations. Native American got reparations.
Jews got reparations.
These fake Jews got reparations.
It even happened in America.
Okay. So why is America paying Israel still continually reparations? But they're actually what they're doing is they're paying Israel to suppress other parts of the world. That's what they're actually paying them for. Okay. So wrapping this up, what would you like to say there, my brother?
Well, I like to say though too is just about this because I had discussed it with an African and Caribbean at my school. They were discussing something about the ADOS movement is anti-African. I said, no, that we ain't anti-African, anti-Caribbean. We the ones that accept to open our arms to y'all in America for the last 100-something years, though. But most of y'all, not all of y'all, but most of y'all turn your backs on us and shrug your shoulder at us. But y'all can't straddle the fence. Either y'all one way in, y'all got to basically pick a side. Either you with us or you know. That's straddle the fence. Y'all want to say y'all black. They convene to say you all want black to get benefits. Then once y'all get the benefits, y'all leave our communities and turn our backs on us. Them days is over with. You gotta pick a side. Either you with ADOS or you not.
And that's a very important thing. And I want to kind of get back to one of the earlier things that we said. One of the earlier things that we did say is that once we get reparations, we're going to be able to help Africa in a much more definitive way. And not only that, but we're going to be able to have some control. We're going to be able to have some control so that we won't have the yellow man and the white man and some other people who want to be controlling our resources and our mix. You know what I'm saying? We don't need nobody to manage us. You know what I'm saying? We never needed anybody to manage us. You see, we were forced into a position in which someone put themselves over us as master. Okay? But the bottom line is that all around the world, their fertility rate is dropping immensely. Immensely. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother dynamic that we'll talk about maybe at another time. But I just wanted to come today. I wanted to throw some stuff out on this topic. We will be back probably tomorrow. I'm going to try to get back tomorrow. We want to, throw some more stuff out. I'm going to look at some of the posts and see some of the comments. And, we're going to go from there. And the thing is, people, is that 2020 election, and I think I've said this before in my different broadcasts, but no reparations, no vote.
Yep, no black vote.
Kamala Harris, all of y'all, you got a white woman up here talking about $100 billion. Now, $100 billion is nowhere enough.
It's not.
But then you have Kamala Harris talking about what kind of plan she got. The green plan?
No, it's non-glut plan. I'm gonna tell you what she said because I read that little short clip where Kamala Harris was saying on Tuesday that she do support that reparation now all of a sudden, but she said that reparations ain't gonna be just for black people. She said it's gonna be for everybody though. But my question is to Kamala Harris: everybody didn't suffer the same as black people in this country did. That's what I'm saying. We got to cut that minority, people color, distressed community. We got to call all that shit.
That's right.
Out and start saying we gonna do for the ADOS, the ADOS community, people that went to slavery, people that picked the cotton fields, people that went to Jim Crow, the Reconstruction, Jim Crow.
Talk to our Facebook people too.
What you gonna do for us, American descendant slaves? I don't want to hear that minority people, color, or poor people. What you gonna do for descendants of slaves in America? I don't want to hear all that.
All right. We're gonna kind of end right there. Because I like my brother right here. He's right on point, y'all. And this can kind of go out another 30 minutes if we continue down that path, right? But one thing is for sure, we have to come to the conclusion. We have to come to a conclusion. What we want. We want all of the black family here on the shores of America who are qualified to get this here. We want you to get it. We want you to get it. You know what I'm saying? We want everybody whose spirit has suffered. Okay? Can't none of us look at Roots. Can't none of us look at Roots and not get teary-eyed.
And Roots is not black owned
Okay.
no more.
Can't none of us. I mean, I remember when Roots came out, everybody was at their TV every night, every single night. Every black person in America, almost every black person in America, ADOS probably, they were at their TV. I was at my TV. You know what I'm saying? So, and when we seen that movie, you know, that movie kind of really brought the visual aspect of what slavery was like in an entertainment way. You know, it wasn't entertainment because it was history. It was really history. Okay, so this is real, people. You know, this is real. We have hundreds of people who have been involved in this, thousands of people who are involved in this over the years. You know, it didn't start with Yvette Carnell and Antonio Webb, you know, and the ADOS movement, hashtag ADOS. It didn't start there. But what they have done, I give them the utmost respect, is that they have brought this conversation to this young generation as well as to this older generation. Because I'm kind of at the edge of that older generation. We got this younger generation who's now engaged in this conversation, and that's very important. Because the more people that is involved in this conversation, the more empowered that we're going to be. Because, you know, people who walk around with $20, $25, $30 in their pocket every single day, you know, I mean, that's not really much. You might have $20, $30 in your pocket, maybe even less than that, you know. And that's not right, because we built this country. We have been under the foot, under the boot of white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? From the beginning to even today. Okay, it's systematic. Dr. Claude Anderson, he talks about it. Nellie Fuller, he talks about it. So, I mean, we have a number of authors and historians and psychologists and psychiatrists, black, ADOS, and otherwise. We don't discount the Caribbean contribution. We don't discount the Belizean contribution. We don't discount the Nigerian contribution, unless you are a slave, the descendant of a slave trader. I mean, not the descendant, but the descendant of a slave trader, right? If you're a descendant of a slave trader, we got an issue with you.
And also, too,
Okay.
it's not.
I'm gonna keep that real.
Yeah.
If you are a descendant of the slave trader, we got an issue with you. Now, we're not saying that we can't sit down at the table at some point and hack some shit out, because y'all owe us some reparations too.
Yep.
Nigeria owes us some reparations. Let me talk to my Facebook audience over there too. Nigeria owes ADOS reparations, because we can directly trace y'all to the same slave trading game as these white people.
Ghana too.
Okay,
Ghana.
there it is.
Ghana.
So I'm putting it out there, and we're gonna talk about this in future videos, because we're gonna try to do this every day.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a panel discussion too here. We're gonna have a panel discussion.
And Ghana, and I'm gonna add to that, Ghana had a part of slave trade too. Ghana, Sierra Leone, and even certain parts of Ethiopia had black slaves where they brought over here to America too. So y'all not innocent either. Y'all got covered some reparations too.
Yeah. And let me just say one more thing. For you Africans that think that this is anti-African, that we are anti-African, okay, who you think pressured the United States government to go over to Rwanda and Burundi? Okay, who do you think they just went over there on their own? Who do you think that was in the United States Congress, you know, that made that happen? Okay, it wasn't a lot of immigrants. Okay, it was black people who stood up. ADOS, black people, descendants of slaves, your ancestors, your people, we stood up and we said, this is bullshit. Okay, so y'all need to think about that shit, because I've been around a while and I've seen a lot that has happened on that continent, and we know who has stood up in this country.
And,
Okay,
and
so-
also too, and also one more thing, and
Y'all need to stop that shit.
And y'all Ethiopians need to think about too, is that we the ones that helped stood by y'all and fought during the 1920s.
Let's not get on the Ethiopians. Let's not focus on the Ethiopians, because I don't want to focus on the Ethiopians. 'Cause if we tell that story, we got to tell the story about the Tuskegee Airmen who went to Ethiopia to help train the Ethiopian pilots so they can kick the Italians' ass. That's all that's about. We're not tripping on Ethiopians right now. In America, the thing is that the Ethiopian community has not been fair with the indigenous ADOS community. They just haven't been fair. We got some good relationships here and there, but this haven't really been fair. You know, and we can admit that. You know, there's Jamaicans that think that blacks, that we ain't shit. There are Jamaicans that think that we have dropped the ball and we soft and all of that. And that's cool. We ain't gonna trip on that. That's a discussion for another time. But the bottom line is that we are at a point to where we can make a change throughout the entire black diaspora. Get behind us right now, and we're gonna change history. We're gonna change history.
Yeah, like I
Get
said,
behind us, and we're gonna change history.
like I said, if you an African or Caribbean immigrant, you with us or you're not with us.
We walk around African. We got dashikis. We got all the different jewelry. We eat the food. You know, we have embraced the culture of the African continent and the various cultures of Africa right here in America. We've done that. Okay, we have created a whole system of, you know, that transformation. You know, changing those motifs. You know, people in their homes, they got shrines now. You know what I'm saying? They got shrines in their home. You know, you have shrines in black people's homes in America that ain't never been to Africa, and they're well used. You see, so we're not so disconnected. You know, we're not so disconnected, and we really need to really sit down and we need to talk about how we move forward. Because why shouldn't we let us help? All this is doing is giving us an opportunity to help Africa. Reparations gives us an opportunity to help Africa. You know, I mean, that's the way I look at it. It gives us an opportunity to help Africa. Really. You know, it gives us the opportunity to go over there with millions of dollars and invest in the communities, grassroots. We don't want to put it in government hands. We want to go in there and help the grassroots people. That's what we want to do. Okay? Help us help the diaspora. Okay? And that's true Pan-Africanism. All right, not just from one side of the ocean, but from the other side of the ocean.
Yep, other side of the ocean. Yep.
You see?
We do our part, y'all do our. We do our
That's
part,
all I'm
y'all
saying.
do our part. It's not gonna be one side Pan Africa no more. After we help y'all out, like we've been doing for the last 100-something years, like all that time pampering y'all, loving y'all, supporting y'all, them days over. Y'all got.
Well, I don't know if we pampered y'all, but we love y'all. We've been loving y'all. Well, we ain't pampered y'all, but we've been loving y'all. You know. So anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. Go ahead.
Well, this is Katlego, Masego, African Town Coalition, ADOS. Either you with us, African Caribbeans, or you against us. Pick a side.
And you know, this is a young brother here. And I respect his opinion. That's why I have him here, because you know he needs to speak his mind. And you know, reparations has been a part of the black experience here in America forever. And when I say forever, 58 years is forever for me. All right. So since I've been growing up and learning about our history, reparations was a part of it. There was a chapter in there on reparations. It wasn't that big, but there was always a chapter there on reparations. So even those in my generation, we know, and we have thought about it, and we have built on that idea. Now, once again, in closing, this is Kevin Wharton Price of the African Town Coalition, and we were just sitting here broaching that topic of American Descendants of Slavery concept that's going on right now. We got Yvette Carnell and Antonio Webb, Breaking Brown. They done threw it out there, and the discussion is going on. Okay, the discussion is going on. All right, so we need to be in that discussion. We need to be in that discussion, and so we're bringing our community, this black community here, this black family community here. We're bringing this to the table. We're bringing it to the table right here at this table. We're going to discuss not only the American DOS movement. We're going to discuss the gentrification of South Central and various communities throughout the United States, and we're going to discuss how can we move forward from here? How can we move forward from here to bridge the gap and to build sustainative links between Africans on the continent and Africans in the diaspora? Okay, and I'm still going to use those terms, African, you know, because my understanding of all of that, I have no problem with. All right, thank you very much, and we hope to see you tomorrow, where we're going to talk about this issue again. Hopefully, we're going to have our stuff a little bit better organized. I know my camera was sideways, and so you know, so we working it out, you know. But the thing is that we have the discussion. And that's what's important, is that we have the discussion. Is that right?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, and we will continue.
Black Fire.
As March Madness is really about to be some March Madness.
Turn them on.
Because nothing is coming in, y'all, but a limited amount of resources. And
yes, sir.
Because the mentality is to spend instead of invest. You know, we've been suggesting over the past month, these tax refunds that come in, investing in beauty supply products instead of just going to the Koreans,